how do you explain Australian football to American audience? And the best way, I think, is that if you think of the great Australian animal, the platypus, which is a bits of everything. And what is this thing? It's weird, but it's a little bit of everything. Well, that's what Australian football is.
If I had to succinctly describe the sport in 2 or 3 sentences, it's a
spectacular looking game.
Sometimes it's soccer meets ultimate frisbee.
A game that sort of is a bit like Australia. It requires a huge amount of space.
Boy, let's see.
Sometimes it's it's got the flow of soccer, except the ball's not round and you can use your hands and you play to 100 instead of 2, which to me sounds pretty good.
You can't throw it, so you punch it off your hand like a volleyball serve, and then you punt it like an NFL punter does. The idea is really to punt it down the field to a teammate who can take a fair catch.
There's 18 players on each side. You have to kick the ball through the post and you get 6 points. Through the side post, 1 point.
You've got to be super fit. You've got to take the hits, no padding, and obviously you've got to be able to use your hands as well as your feet.
There is a lot of skill needed, there is a lot of speed needed, there is a lot of engine needed.
Speed, endurance, our game's fairly quick.
Full contact, no pads, kill the guy with the ball.
A lot of courage. So it's a mixture of a lot of very, very good sports things.
And so you end up with this hybrid game, this platypus of games called Australian football. It's very fast, it's very athletic, and it's high scoring. And so it's a great product that Americans, when they first see it, are confused, which you'd be confused when you first saw a platypus. But once you understand it, you say, wow, this is really brilliant.
Hold up, guys. Hold up. This group's on the line, right?
So right now we're in January, so we need to get back together, start looking at who some of the better players are out at this training camp, and move that forward to an East Coast training camp in a couple of weeks, and then that's going to culminate with a game that we'll play in April in Fort Lauderdale.
Everybody's got a different issue, just give them one thing to think about each time. They'll go away, and when we talk about it tomorrow, we'll be talking about those issues.
And all those 3 events are going to build up to picking a final team to go. So this is the beginning of that final push toward Melbourne in August.
You are low here, stay over the ball, keep your head over the ball, and then come up through it. All right, you keep it low.
2002, that was the first International Cup. So 2002 was a fantastic experience. 05 was, that was our best run at the International Cup. By a few points, we missed out being able to play at the MCG.
You were hitting the outside of your boot.
Yeah, that's why I felt, it didn't come off.
And so you were making the goal from that close. If you're doing that from out here, you're going to be pushing off to the right.
Okay.
2005 was, the culmination of a lot of efforts, but it was also the end of an era of sorts.
Keep pointing to every target and you'll be fine.
Some guys that were the backbone of the team, a leadership of the team, each one of us said to ourselves, well, I'm done, it's time to move on.
The state of the team is a concern. Look, I'm optimistic, but that's how I generally am. I've been in the States 6 years. I work in education in New York. I worked in football back in Victoria before I came to the States. I think I can remember back being a skinny little under-9 with a passion for the game that my father loved and my mother loved, and so, the passion doesn't die, it just is there.
I don't want this game to peter out. I want this game to be a stampede with us running to the end.
All right, let's go.
Right?
We love football. We played sport ourselves. Sport's very important in our lives, in our children's lives.
Fantastic, Rob. Fantastic. That's 3.
He wants to be a good coach, and he wants these guys to love it just as much as he loves it. Passion for life and family, and passion for football.
It's a commitment, and that commitment is a severe financial penalty for a lot of people, right? Everyone involved in the team will pay their own way to Melbourne, so friends, family and clubs help out as much as they can. You're not involved in a team at this level unless you really love the game.
I want you to be able to just pick up the ball and go bang.
We're a little over 200 days away from playing in this tournament. So this weekend will help us find out about the people that are putting themselves forward for selection.
Well, who are our talls? There's 2. 3 if you count Donnie.
We don't have any talls.
No.
No, you'd get Country Marks and Donnie.
Yeah, right. Paddy could rest country.
Yeah.
Yeah?
He definitely. Yeah. I like Pat.
Jordan, Luke, and SARS.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in. You got welcome to our spacious boardroom. We are too high when we're going for the ball sometimes, so get low to the ground. Don't hurt me. Just bump me. So I'm here. Right. I've got nothing to stop the big fella knocking me over because I've got no thing. So if I'm going to get down low, go. Thanks for being soft on me. All right. Get down low over the ball. Rule of our team is we get down low, we get our head over the football. Is that clear?
My name is Donnie Lucero. Originally from California. Grew up in Redondo Beach and now live in Orange County. I was fortunate enough to make the first Revo squad in '99. And I've been carrying on since. The national team, when it first started, was I think Americans and green card holders. And it's since just become strictly Americans. I play this because I enjoy sports. I'm an American football player, you know, as my sports background, some basketball and whatnot. And this is kind of a good hybrid between both. I just enjoy a good physical game, and knocking around a bit and getting out and running around. I'm a little more aggressive than most, so every year it gets a little bit harder. And at 37, you know, lacing them up every day, day in and day out to go train is a bit more challenging, but it's still an enjoyable thing to be able to do that and know that there are people out there that can't do that. Just make it that much more of a motivation for me to do it and do it for as long as I can. So if I can do this in 2011 when I'm 41, then you know, I'll make my best effort to be out here again.
You can't get
Right, all into me. Front centre, boys. They have got some very good players in this team. They have some very good players, all right? Agreed, yeah? Yeah. But we're going to be the best team on the day. That's the thing that you're going to get in your head. When it's your turn to go, you go. No matter what you do in football, you can at least go in hard for the ball, yeah? Right, you can at least go in and block hard for one of your teammates to get the ball out, yeah? Right. So that's where the game starts and ends. So let's get that. When it's your turn to go today, you go. You keep your head over the ball and you go. Where's our big centre half forward? Yeah. Let's support him. Let's look for him. He's good overhead, good hands. Let's support him. Let's run off him. All right. Play for each other. Play for each other. This is what football's always about, right? And the thing that I love about this job is that you're now trying to represent your country. And if that's not good enough for you, if that doesn't put something into your gut, then nothing ever will. Right? So let's go hard from the first bound. Let's take a few scalps today. Let's regroup at quarter time and see how we're going. Hand on. Go. On 3, Revo. 1, 2, 3. Go.
I love being competitive. Meet some great guys, involved with some great people. You know, I love being a part of a group that has one goal in mind and, you know, striving to build and develop. My coaches, when I was growing up, always had an impact on my life. And I hope to have that impact on the people that I've been involved with, you know, a positive impact. Something that they see and reflect back on and say, hey, he was a good guy, you know, he did this, did that, or the other thing. And, hopefully that carries on. If it carries on from me to them and them to somebody else, that's successful. You know, there's not enough positive floating around. You see so much negative every place. I mean, you could walk out on your street corner and see negative. You know, success isn't always predicated on wins and losses. We're all in this together, and you know, whatever encouragement or you know, anything I can do to fix or help, it's only going to make us all better.
Ball, JJ, on the ball! Punch! Punch! Nice punch, Brandon! Well done, boys. Great job, Reb.
Oh, that's a beauty. Well, this was the first game of our year, first game of the international year, and you know, you're putting guys together that haven't played together, and the tyranny of distance. And this is the West Coast, virtually the West Coast band, and I couldn't have been more happier with their desire and their effort and their application to the team rules.
Get a big circle both sides, guys. No, big circle both sides. Come on.
Hey guys, be sure to sharp to them. Hey! Hey, keep it healthy. Appreciate the time. Hey guys, thanks for a great competition.
Thanks a lot.
Drive you for an X-ray in a bit, okay?
Tell you.
You did well.
I always get hurt. I don't know what the deal is.
Aussie, where are you? How is it?
We'll get him an X-ray after. Mac thought it might be back in, but it's still a little funny shaped.
Just hoping to make it back for Atlanta. That's right.
Damn right.
My wife's gonna kill me.
I would like to be a part of the revolution. These opportunities don't come along that often, and I'm not getting any younger, so I've got my clock's ticking. I gotta do it now, or it'll probably never happen. So it's an opportunity you just can't pass up.
What you're seeing here is how football grounds get set up in the United States. A piece of flat land, goalposts hammered into the ground, you know, baseball net on the left, a cricket pitch in the middle of nowhere. This is what footy grounds are like in the States.
The rebar sticking up that you have to mark out.
Yeah.
Or a couple of bottle caps around there.
When I was in LA, the emergency room was full, so I took the red-eye home that night. Went to the doctor first thing, got off the plane, went to the urgent care. Got 8 shots of Novocaine in my finger. Doctor relocated it, no fracture. It's not crooked anymore. It hurts, but I'm starting to be able to bend it most of the way, so I'll be able to punch the ball and hopefully catch. We'll see how it goes.
Listen, we went to LA. We absolutely played the best football we could have. Right? The effort, the fierceness of the contest, how hard we ran for each other, they're all things that count, okay? Because we are playing for our country. You're trying to play for your country. You're trying to make the national team of your country, yes? Yeah. Right, well, I know how much pride you have in your country, so you've got to play with pride, regardless of what the state of this match is. Run hard, get in hard, protect each other, win the football, win your contest, beat your opponent. Okay? Rebo's on 3. 1, 2, 3. Off you go. Boys.
I've been in sports my whole life, but they all ended at college. The last thing I thought I'd do is start a full contact sport. After I had hung up my cleats and hung up my basketball shoes, and I thought I was done. Relegated to old man softball. But I came out, and I don't know, the first time I played, I was kind of addicted. I don't know what my chances are of making the team. I think I have potential.
Get up, market country.
I haven't maybe been playing the sport as long as other people. I haven't. The coaches aren't as familiar with me. Some of the coaches. I think I'm good enough to make the team. I think I can compete. It's just a matter of showing that to the coaches and letting them see see what I can do on the field.
Yeah.
Well done, Jack!
I think it was a good game. The third quarter, fourth quarter, really shut them down. I think I played well. I overran some marks, but I think that's an issue of getting to know the guys better as we come together as a team. I think issues like that and knowing how people kick, knowing where people run, I think we'll start coming together and be a much stronger team.
Are we all committed to Florida? Yeah. Okay. In Florida, and I'll be straight up front with all of you, that's when we will select the final spot going down to Australia.
The most difficult thing about footy for me is being married and having 2 kids. I picked up the sport after I was married, after I had a kid. So it's tough to do it more than once a week during the summer.
Number 1 needs to go number 2.
I would love to play it more. I'd love to play it all the time. But having kids changes everything, and for me, that's the biggest thing. But if I made the team and put on that jumper, that would be just pride.
I have kind of a motto: don't take a shower unless you've earned it. You can't just go through the day, sit at a cubicle, and then at the end of the day, take a shower. You haven't earned it. You haven't done anything to earn that. So what I try to do, and what I've always done, and I've really pushed myself more trying to make this Revo team, is if I'm sitting down on the couch and it's 8 o'clock at night, and I really want to take a shower, all right, gotta go outside. I gotta go do a 3-mile run. I need to go outside with my wife and kick the footy with her a few times. Even though she really doesn't want to, she's gonna play with me. Hasn't been the same as the Revo training program, but I think mine's pretty damn good.
Now, I'm very proud of what you guys have achieved and what we've achieved as a group together over the months that we've been together. Right, a short program, hasn't it been?
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a lot of people here, we've got some good players that want to try and take our scalp. No way. No way, because we will be playing this. This is the first time we're in these, isn't it? Yeah. First time we're in these today, yeah? First time you've worn it. Don't disappoint yourself, don't disappoint the group. Everyone hard at it, okay? You with it?
Being able to represent the country wearing the red, white, and blue, it started before I knew what footy was.
Rebels on 3, 1, 2, 3. Rebels! Let's go, let's get into it. Yeah, boys.
Growing up, I always wanted to represent my country in any way that I could, whether it was an Olympic swimmer or in the World Cup playing soccer. In 3rd grade, I let my teacher know that that's what I wanted to do. Unfortunately, didn't make it in soccer as far as I wanted to. Swimming got old when I was 14. But the dream of representing my country never left. And now it looks like I might be heading to Australia to play for the U.S. team.
That's final siren. Revolution comfortable victors in this match against the combined Wallaby side. 11-14, 8 points to 2-14. Fantastic effort from the US Revolution boys. And if we can get a round of applause, wish them all the best for the final selection trial and all the success to carry them through the International Rules Challenge in Melbourne later this year in September in Melbourne. Great effort, boys.
The effort you put in, the 3 weekends we've had together have been sensational, and I know the coaching staff are very pleased with your effort at all times. Okay, so it's very, very good for as a US national team what you've done over the last 3 camps and now your lead up. Comes the time now we need to talk to you. Okay, we're going to talk to you face to face individually. All right. So when you go back to the hotel, you need to shower up. We should be ready by 2 o'clock. It's been great working with you. We'll talk to you personally in the rooms. Donnie's in charge of the cool down now. Can we get water first, please? Okay. Well done, boys. It's tough. A decision has to be made. We're taking 35. And as a match committee, we're going to make that decision. And I guess as the coach, I have the final imprimatur on that. But we'll do it face to face. Take a seat, mate. Obviously, you're coming down there, and obviously you're our captain, and you're very important to us. All right, and I'll start straight up. Your leadership on the field on the weekend was terrific, and you know, general management of it when it's your time to manage them has been, you know, first rate. Okay, so we're relying on you to keep your eye on that West Coast.
I'll put them to work.
I know you will. But that's great. All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right, well done, mate.
Awesome, man. Thanks, bud. You guys are so intimidating. Stand back there and
Yeah.
there you go.
See you, big fella. Take a seat over there. Okay. Fantastic effort. Okay. You haven't made the squad.
Understand.
And I know you're coming back after a pretty bad injury. It's basically, no, I'll be honest. First of all, it's a fitness issue.
Yep.
Right. You've got to be able to keep up over 2 weeks and a whole lot of days.
I have to say I kind of expected it, knowing that yes, my fitness is far lacking in what it should be, but hopefully something like this, or the inconvenient timing of a surgery, won't be an issue next time.
And I'm sorry you missed out, but you know it's a numbers game in some ways, and yeah. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
It's a tough job. No one likes to be told no that you're not in the squad. No. Take a seat, mate.
After LA and after Atlanta and Fort Lauderdale, I kind of was able to gauge myself versus the other players, and you know, I was really excited, but I went in nervous.
Now, we know you've fought through injury, but we know also your passion for the jumper and the team, and you've made the squad. Fantastic effort, and so you're in the squad, so you now need to keep preparing and working with your coach. And just congratulations, it's fantastic that you're in the Revo squad.
When I made the team, it ended up being more of a relief than a surprise.
But that's it, that's fine, fantastic.
Felt really good though. It was something I was really proud of, and I just had a smile on my face the whole time. I was just so glad. I just couldn't wait to call people and tell them.
That's everything. I'm sorry. It's disgusting. Yeah.
Take a seat. Right. Okay, congratulations, you made it in the squad of 35.
Thanks.
You are very important to the team in lots of ways. All right. And same thing I want to say to you, I say to some of the other young bucks, that be better when we go to Melbourne than you are when you left here.
Definitely.
Feel excellent about the final team. We have a strongly committed group of individuals that are proud to be wearing the US jumper. So I am sure that this team will give a great accounting of itself down there and be as competitive a team as we've ever put on the field in the USAFL history.
Rob, guy's great. I was talking to him about me being a teacher, and he's got a huge teaching background, and I can totally see that, because as a teacher you need to bring the positive.
Your hand, let's see it, John. All right, good work. Let's give him a round of applause.
His passion for it. You can tell when he's talking during halftime or quarter time. He's got this energy where he sucks you into what he's saying.
Now the reason I'm here is because I made a promise. I made a promise to Mr. Levesque back in January when he was trying out for the national team. And he told me about this school and the job that he does. And I said, well, if you make the national team, I'm going to come down from New York and I'm going to present the jumper if that's okay. So I'm honouring my promise today. And he has worked extremely hard to get himself into the national team. And it's my pleasure now to ask him to come up and accept this jumper, which was worn by the first captain of the USA team over 10 years ago.
It just did my heart good. I was just so proud of that moment.
Other kids.
the kids were cheering and standing up, and all the teachers stood up. And there were children there who have emotional problems, and there were children there who are autistic, and then there were children who have no problems at all. It's all inclusive school, and they were all cheering for Jay. And I think that's because all along, Jay has always cheered for them. And it really made me realize this is true. This is something that very special, that many of the people in the room will never experience anything like this again.
I can't hear you. Thank you, boys and girls.
Having the reception at his school yesterday and having his coach over there and having the kids recognize it, he's a role model and people are looking up to him, and that's important.
Quickly, quietly, I gotta get you guys to Wilford. Melissa, you okay?
She's the best gym teacher.
And then if you can make a difference in somebody else's life, that's winning.
We used to have a bunk bed, and Jay had the bottom bunk, and we would put little encouraging words on the top of the slat where he could look up every time Jay would win at a soccer game or swim meet. But the one that we all cherished the most was the day that Jay beat his father at basketball. Jay came running in and wrote on that slat the score, the date.
Without my permission, you wrote that up there.
But that was the first. I think Jay was maybe 16 or 17 because that was the first time he ever beat his dad in anything. But that's the type of competition that they've always been brought up. Oh, sorry. Jay was 12 years old when that happened. But anyway.
That's what he says.
Right. But that's the way Jay has always been.
I've got a 2.5-year-old daughter, and just as I was getting out of the car to collect my bags and go get on my flight, she woke up from her little car nap and noticed that I was leaving and grabbed my luggage and threw a fit. And basically her understanding of it is that I'm leaving and not coming back. I was actually a stay-at-home dad for almost 2 years, so I raised her from 0 to 2, and now I leave the country for almost 3 weeks, and it's my little girl, and she's very precious, and I know she's at that impact age, so I hope I set a standard or an example for her to strive to do good things and do quality things in her life that make her happy and encourage her to be successful and do the right things, like I do with anybody I'm involved with, try and lead by example, so if that's what I leave with her, then I've done my part.
I live in Melbourne, and everyone I speak to is always surprised with an American playing footy. They don't quite get it at first. It's my third time being part of the national team. I was on the first trip in 2002, 2005, and now going around again at 2008.
They actually had it at the big market for a while. They had underwear that had a map of Tasmania.
Footy has got this great feel about it. It's different. It really is different. And the social side of it, the team aspect of it, is something that I love being a part of. I've met some of the people who I think are the best people in my life, are the people I've met through footy. But for the most part, going into the International Cup, there are more guys on the team I don't know than there are guys I know. So I've got a big learning curve in trying to get to know who these guys are and what they're all about.
Welcome to Melbourne. I landed, I think about 9:30, and I don't think I've stopped yet with the obligations. There's team meetings, there's team trainings, there's coaches meetings, there's AFL get-togethers and meetings, there's media meetings. Everybody wants to get a piece and have a little earful of something to print in their paper or to put on their news article or whatever. yeah, I guess it's exciting. It's a bit of a chore because you want to get back and get something to eat, and you want to, shower and clean up and hang out with your boys and, just be a part of their experience as well. But, you got to do your part. So, I'll carry the load. I'll carry whatever load I have to carry to help us be successful. If I've got to do 100 interviews, or if I've got to run 100 trainings, or, if I've got to stand on the chair and, do a dance, whatever I have to do to make sure this team is successful.
It's great to be here this evening at the official International Cup welcome function, and it's with pleasure that I welcome the players, the officials and supporters who have travelled so far to be part of the 2008 Australian Football International Cup. The 2008 International World Cup, hosted in Melbourne and Warrnambool, is the ultimate showcase of international Aussie rules. The competition now boasts a record 16 teams from around the world, including Ireland, Canada, China, Denmark, Finland, Great Britain, India, Japan, Nauru, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, Samoa, South Africa, Sweden, USA, and the peace team representing Israel and Palestine. It is just fantastic. Well done to you all. So on behalf of all Victorians, I'd like to again welcome all of you here tonight and wish you all the very best of luck to the 2008 International Cup. Well done.
Please welcome Mike Brady. We've come a long way since the start of things. We've seen the joy that hard work brings. You made us cry, and you made us smile. We've had the fronts, now it's all worthwhile. Sing with me tonight, come on! 'Cause there's one day in September we want to remember. There isn't any doubting, we'll be in there shouting. We're all such a part of this whole town, and we know that you won't let us down. Here we go, one more time. 'Cause there's one day in September we want to remember. There isn't any doubting, we'll be in there shouting. Football's such a part of this whole town, but you won't let us down. Thank you.
23 minutes before 7, 23 minutes in the years in Rimmerfile, 96 900 693. We've got an in-studio guest that we're about to have a chat with. I reckon both you and I are going to find this entertaining. His name's Dave Walker. He's a member of the United States Australian Rules football team. Has that got it right, Dave?
That sounds good.
Oh, but it's got a better name than that. What's your...
So yeah, American Revolution. When I was a kid, I was like, if I had one place I wanted to go, it was Australia. So now, like 20-some years later, here I am playing like their big sport. I mean, outside the Olympics, not many people can say that they've done something like this.
We just can't quite believe that teams come from around the world to play Australian rules football in Melbourne, Australia. Do you play Australian rules football in America?
Yes, yeah, we have about 35, 40 teams in the US. That's basically the biggest morning show in Australia. I wanted to go in there and represent the US and all the guys and just let everybody know, that we actually do play Aussie rules in the States.
This must be an absolute ball to come out to Australia and play football. You must have so much fun.
It's a blast. It really is. I was out in 05 and it was great.
I asked Dave whether there was much partying going on, and you told me the answer is that teams try to look after themselves because they want to win the game of footy.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, I know myself and our guys, it's something we trained for the last 2 or 3 years. You really put a lot of hard work into it, so you don't want to get over here and just kind of drink it away or anything.
How big's the group that comes over here? How many of you are there?
We have 35 guys.
Yeah?
Yeah, 35.
Do you pay for yourself? Or is it funded?
Well, some guys got sponsored and some guys just pay for themselves, so.
But I dare say that if the United States played New Zealand, the locals would be all rooting for the USA.
I tell you what, if we go to the final, you can have this tracksuit that I have right now.
I would give my house for that tracksuit. It's sensational, folks. It really is. He's got on the front of it US footy.
And the final is a curtain raiser to be played on the weekend of September 6th, to be played at the MCG. That's not this weekend, but the weekend after.
Good luck.
Yes, I appreciate you guys having me too.
We'll be rooting for you.
Yes. The ultimate dream would be to win the cup and play on the MCG. Not just for myself, but for the other guys that have put in all the hard work. And I know some guys have played with the Revos for a lot longer than I have. That have, you know, that's always been their ultimate goal is something like that. We were a few points away, you know, last time, and come up a little short against New Zealand. But I think, you know, if we got another shot at them, we could probably take it.
This is a sort of carnival that actually builds bridges, not just throughout Australia, but right throughout the world. I can assure you, the longer that you stay in this game, you'll find out more about yourself. This game has a development structure in it. It actually develops the people that are involved in it. It will test you. It'll take time. It'll find your spirit, and it will find your resolve. And it also will find your soul.
First 5 or 10 minutes, it's going to take a little while to settle down. We're going to be hard at it, don't worry, and so are they. Right, this is a big day. I just got a feeling in my bones that this is a big day. This is about heart and soul football for us. It's always been about us. It will always be about us, heart and soul into it. Right? Trust and respect. You're going to have to be really cool when you're feeling a bit rattled. Trust and respect for each other. Right? It's going to come from being cool when you're rattled, from running country when you feel you're fucked, and you run that extra 5 yards and you grab someone's jumper and tackle them and bring them down, and we get a free kick which rebounds into a goal. That's how we get respect from you and you and you guys, that you do the things that are really hard. You've got to earn the trust and earn the respect from each other. At the end of the day today, we're going to look each other in the eye and say, yes, we did. Yes, we did. We ran hard, we ran our guts out until we had nothing left, and then we found a bit more. It's all about the run, it's all about being hard at the contest. You ready? Yeah. You ready? Yeah.
You know, you look at a team like Denmark, which is a team that goes back historically as far as our team does, and is very physical and pretty skilled. And, you know, there are some newer teams now that, you know, we hope develop, but we're not, you know, worried about them just yet. And Denmark is one. They've beaten us a few times, we've beaten them a few times, and you never know how it's going to go. I think our guys performed really well. Saarbacher played really well. RJ played well. You know, Ryan Marks played really well. Then when we got it, we try to put it right down the guts, which is, you know, run in numbers. But the thing I really like about our side this year is the team speed. I think that's different than what I've seen in the past. We've always been hard at the ball, we've always been good tacklers, but to have the foot speed that we have this year, I'm very pleased with.
I was nervous in a way, not knowing what to expect. Playing Metro footy in the US, you get a certain level of competition. Some players are really good, some are not so good. And, we came out strong. I think we crushed them. I feel sorry for the guys who have to play against us because we hit hard and we don't stop. We keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. I'm very confident in getting out of our bracket. I think we have a good chance in this whole tournament with how we play in that first game.
My name is Steve Budrick, and I've been with the Revolution as the athletic trainer since the inaugural International Cup in 2002.
It's tough. You're away from any type of major treatment, so we have to work with what we have.
Marcy would like to order some body fat.
I hate swimming.
He would like to order 10 pounds of body fat and a shirt.
My legs feel fine. My toes hurt.
You know, I thought Denmark was going to be the toughest competition in the first round. Seeing how we handled them, I don't want to look past China, but I think China is not going to be that difficult.
What we do today is important because South Africa will be watching, coming up against them on Monday.
Right? Show respect to your opponent by the way you play your game. So when we heard that China was playing this year, we start to wonder, out of 1.3 billion people, what kind of team are they going to put on the field the first time? And you know, if they had brought Yao Ming and their 12 and 13-year-old female gymnasts, that would be some tough matchups. But not a lot of current concern for China just yet.
It's clear that USA are a long way ahead of China as far as understanding the game and knowing how to play it, so they trounced them.
Well done, guys.
We've got the Parade of Nations, a little bit like the Olympic walk-on.
Is that at halftime, Rob?
Yeah, it's at halftime. And a good game. Carlton have all been a good game. I hope both teams.
Nothing to play for, but there's two players that can get to the 100-goal mark. Buddy's on 98 and Favola's on 92 right now.
I think the team's gelling. You know, it helps that, you know, we usually have some sort of function. Just talking with other players in that sense helps build that, you know, because then you're like, yeah, oh, this guy's actually pretty cool and I get to talk to him. You know, when I play against him, he's a complete dick, you know. And I can't even fathom what it's going to be like to represent my country, you know, have a big crowd there, either cheering us or booing us or heckling us. I'm real proud and honored to be part of this team.
Sar's got a good job of carrying the flag, so hopefully he does a good job, doesn't let it touch the ground, treats it with respect, right? I hope we get a good reaction from the crowd. And there's people hate us. This is great. Hey guys. See, I don't know where all the booze came from, because everyone seems happy to see us. At least you know what, the kids love America. That's what I'm talking about.
Getting to represent my country at all is a big honor. Being out in front of these guys is an even bigger one.
There's a real good camaraderie that's built up from playing Aussie rules football, and you know that your teammate has your back and he knows you have his back, and it really makes a difference in the game because it is a really physical game, and if you get exposed, you can really get hurt.
It's like kind of a dream come true, something like that, you know. People were just really cool, and you heard some boos at the beginning, but the kids loved us. You know, all their hands were out, and there wasn't a hand that I passed without hitting it, so it was awesome.
It's a beautiful oceanside town. It's a heavy sporting town. At the moment, it's the hub of the International Cup, and the people here typical Australian country people, just beautiful people, and can't do enough.
Number 8 won the race. It's just my day. Panther told me to bet 8, so I did. So, you know, some days you just wake up, it's your day. You know, it's just your day.
And to see countries like the US and Canada and the Peace Team and Nauru and South Africa coming down to play the game that we all love here in this country is really, really something special to them.
What's this Warrnambool been given the day off to come to watch the Americans play the South Africans in a minute, eh? Oh, it's going to be beautiful. Absolutely.
Against South Africa, we stand at a pivotal point in the competition. I'm confident our boys can handle South Africa. They've been fantastic through the start of the carnival, and I expect them to do exactly the same today.
Brian Dixon, he is just one of the names of Australian rules football. And he is going into a country where the game doesn't exist and spreading that game.
Well, up until recently, I was chairman of AFL South Africa. We started the game off there in around about the year 2001. Then we brought a team to the International Cup in 2002, and it's been steady progress ever since. And now it's in 4 provinces with about 14,000 kids playing, and a considerable investment of about $1.5 million Australian dollars. So the game in South Africa looks to be on very solid foundations.
Touch up. Touch up.
I think it's going to be a wonderful match. I think the weather conditions will help South Africa because there's a little bit of mist and rain in the air, and if the South Africans can prevent the Americans from getting on top with a high marking game and get the ball on the ground as often as possible, I think South Africa's got a very good chance.
In 2002, we beat South Africa pretty badly. You know, and you knew, though, that the number of people who are playing footy in South Africa, the amount of money that's going into South Africa, they weren't going to be perennial wooden spooners. You know, I mean, they were eventually going to start winning football games and playing good football. They scored 20 goals against China. We didn't score 20 goals against China. You know, we won easily, but we didn't kick 20.
I feel at the moment the way we're fumbling and kicking the ball, you're frightened you're going to lose this, rather than we're going to take this game by the scruff of the bloody neck, right, and get some goals this quarter and set them back on their heels. Yep. You understand me? You understand me? Drive hard this quarter and make a big difference. This is the pivotal game. Let's make sure that we do the right thing. Everyone clear? Yeah. Don't let him do that again, will you?
I knew it was going to be a tough game. I tried what my build-up was about. This was going to be a tough game. This was the respect game, get into the final 4. Their skills have improved. They are very fit. They played a great game of football, and they ran in numbers, and they ran all day.
Do not give up on the run. Now let's get some goals this quarter. Let's go out there full of a bit of fire in the belly. I want to see the fire in the belly. On your feet.
I think we needed to concentrate harder on following some of the instructions, some of the basic team rules and instructions we did. We let ourselves down in that area. We didn't kick the ball long and quick into our forwards where we had a perceived advantage. We surrendered too many easy goals in the last quarter, and the result blew out a little bit because of it. They were just too good for us on the day.
Two games, we ran as a group, we really ran hard as a group in those first 2 faster squad than us. There's no 2 ways about that, but we had to be as close to them as we could to put the pressure on them. And they didn't zone up 1 metre on these guys. Either we couldn't keep up or we weren't concentrating. We said kick it long into the forward line. Pretty clear instructions, weren't they?
A lot of frustration. We all wanted to be in the top 4. We all wanted to be playing in the G. That's always the goal. Get to the G and play the championship game.
All right. I'm still proud of you.
Now, that's gone. It's past. So now we have to reassess and say, well, what is it we can do to salvage where we're at?
So post South Africa, took a loss, and at the Warrnambool function, we decided to kind of have at it a bit. Well, actually, I decided to kind of have at it a bit. And you know, figured it was as good a time as any to try and loosen the boys up and get them to rebound off of a tough loss. And you know, we just proceeded to have a few drinks and a few more and a few more and a few more, and you know, harmless but fun. So you know, I think it was a good bonding time for the guys. Any loss is a tough loss. Tournaments kind of you lose and you're out. Not necessarily out as far as games, but you're out of the running. So you know, you just you got to find creative ways to make the team bond and come back together and try and finish things up.
Somebody, goddammit! Somebody, not sure who I am, but there's somebody. Ron, Russell, Jason, John, and Peter. You have a Peter. Franco! Franco! Oh my God! Hey!
You know, when you get those guys excited about something or, you know, wound up, that's good. Gotta like the energy. So at least there was energy about something, and other than losing.
The ride home was it was good to see guys let loose. I think in order to be a good club, you need to not only go through stuff on the field, but you have to go through stuff off the field.
Hey, give me 1, 2 times. Oh shit! I'm smarter than you guys.
At the same time, it was a little out of hand.
Talking to the coach later.
I just thought, we don't have our eye on the prize, which is, I guess, to be in Nauru.
Hold on, hey. Coach is out front, shut your face.
Settle down.
I know that, you know, these guys are gonna follow my lead, and I thought it was as good a time as any to try and at least create a bond for these guys.
All right, I realise you've let off some steam tonight on the disappointment of a poor performance today. We've got a school visit in the morning, which is important to the US and to US footy. We've got a game against Nauru, which is important to all of us. Get to bed, get yourselves right. What time are you walking them in the morning, Donnie? 8, okay, walk at 8, see ya.
On me.
In here, boys.
8 o'clock.
Got it.
Everybody out here, ready to go.
Yes.
You all right?
Yeah.
We lost today. Blew off some steam. We'll have at it.
Listen up.
8 o'clock. Team?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Bravos. Come on, boys.
Hey, boys. Let's go. Bravos. 1, 2, 3.
You know, maybe the coach, from a coaching perspective, or you know, from somebody else's idea, it's not the best time or not the best idea, but at the time I thought it was, and I'm still pretty confident that it was.
These guys are from America, but they're here to play Australian rules football in the International Cup. So put your hands together for the US.
You know, yesterday out at the ground was pretty frustrating and not the best result. South Africa was a better team on the day, and to be able to go through that in the afternoon, put that behind you hopefully, and come to something like this hopefully re-energizes you. refocuses you and gets you ready for the next game.
How tall is the tallest one on your team?
199 centimeters. Freakishly tall. Height always seems to appeal to the kids for some reason. And, you know, but it's good fun. I love hanging out with them.
Now, not only are we extremely fortunate to have these guys come along today, we've also got someone else who's here today with us. Anyone recognise the guy in the hat over here?
Oh, it's Mickey Mouse.
Put your hands together for Kevin Sheedy.
You know, you see Kevin Sheedy in there, one of the greatest coaches of all time in the AFL and one of the most successful coaches, most successful players. And when he walked into that room, the kids, you know, they stopped paying attention to us and they're like, oh, it's Kevin Sheedy, he's here.
Anyone got a couple of questions for Kevin? We might fire a couple of questions at him and get back to the...
See how good you are.
Come on, Kieran.
Yes, sir.
Who do you think was the best player for the Bombers last year?
Last year, James Hurd. He was 34 years of age, he got the ball 36 times in his last game in his life as a footballer, and the biggest crowd in the world of any football game, Sugar. So that was an absolutely fantastic effort by the oldest player on the team. Yes?
What was the most memorable game this year?
The most memorable game was probably, other than the premierships, would have been being a tool of the week. Because that game actually was in 1993, and because Paul Sadler kicked 6 points right throughout the whole match, he finally kicked one goal before the end of it, and then we went on and won a premiership with a bunch of kids. So we've got a lot of kids in the team, and it was great to be tool of the week, and that was my most memorable goal. Thanks very much.
All right, put your hands together. If the boys in the football team, if you can go back to your room, put your boots and your jumper on, and meet me down on Allen Oval, okay?
It's the Tuesday after Labor Day. Today's actually the first day I should be back at work. And somehow the gods have smiled on me and given me a class to hang out with. I've had the summer off. I haven't really been around too many kids, and actually seeing how well behaved this school is just makes me want to get back to work, actually. These kids have a state title on Thursday. They seem well organized. They know what a footy is.
I don't know. Fair good. I reckon we can top them one day. I reckon we can top them now.
Oh.
That's a challenge. We'll top them any day. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Competitive marking next.
Seeing that kids the same age as the students that I teach can be as good, if not better than I am, you know, it gives me something to aspire to. You know, maybe I can have a little youth footy team around the area. Why not?
You really, when you show up for something like this, you want to give them a good impression of what the United States is all about and what we're all about as a team and as individuals, because a lot of what you see in the media here in Australia isn't all that positive in the U.S. And so hopefully you come and you see these kids and you talk to them and they'll remember the United States as a group of fun guys who love their footy.
Usually the only time a student at my school gets an autograph is when I'm signing a hall pass, you know? But these kids wanted my autograph. That was awesome.
I know the effort you put in. I absolutely understand the effort you put in. Not over just the last 6 or 8 months. I know the effort you put in over a long time. You played football that I've never seen you play the other day. That's gone now. You know, there's going to be some energy in the game here from the very start. From us. Sometimes the energy could boil over. Don't let it happen. If something untoward happens, you pass it on by the next tackle you make is twice as hard as the first tackle you made. You pass it on by the next block you make is twice as hard. We're disciplined, we know what our goal is right from the start.
You knew that Nauru was going to be physical, and physical's one thing. You know, physical's okay. I'm not afraid of physical. I don't mind physical. I think we, as a football team, are a very physical football team. I think that's one of our strengths. One of the great appealing things about football, and I'd be willing to bet if you asked a lot of guys why they're playing football, it's the opportunity to have that sort of physical release. You know, that body-on-body contact. It's an appealing aspect of the game. Tackling something, making a tackle. So there is physical, which is okay. There is physical, and that's good. And then there are certain things that are outside the realm of physical.
Nauru, they were very dirty, cheap shots. Even myself, I was standing next to the guy and he just turned around and just punched me right into the gut for no reason. It wasn't like we were, jostling around him. I was standing there, he just turned, hit me, and then ran 50 yards the other way. I don't mind the physical game. I encourage it. However, I've never ever punched anybody, and that's just not called for. And for the referees to allow that to happen was just unacceptable. They saw it, and it was happening all game.
Put the pain on the scoreboard. That's how we give it back to them. You don't retaliate. The way you retaliate is by playing harder, getting up, smiling after they hit you, letting them know that they don't have any control over you. That's what we need to do.
It's just all that messy, crappy stuff that was happening that's not about the game. They're a good side. They don't need to do that stuff. That's the other thing. They're a really good side. They're a really good football side. But at three-quarter time, we're still up. We've managed to battle on that little ground, and it wasn't a great standard of football. It was just a fight. So I think what really hurt us in the end, and what I think was just probably very poor officiating, was that there was a couple of incidents that happened, one, and then in the end, Donnie was the one that got pinned for responding to what happened to him.
What are you off for? What, a yellow card? No, can't be replaced. Excuse me? Can't be replaced. He can't be replaced. Brandon, centre half back.
We moved someone straight into the back line, but when you do that, you become one short elsewhere. And even though we were getting the ball out and defending gamely, the ball was just falling to loose men across our half-forward line. And even though we moved players up, it still just became, the last 17 minutes was just, just wrecked on.
Maybe they sucked us in, maybe it was a tactic and they got the exact reaction out of us. Maybe we were too worried about that rather than worrying about taking control of the ball and taking control of the game and doing what we knew we needed to do. And what we did in the first half, because they did all that stuff throughout the game. And it's up to us. The only thing we can control is how we play. And we didn't do that. They got stronger as the game went on, and they were able to run the ball a lot. And that made all the difference.
I was particularly frustrated myself by the Nauru tactics, but I was probably more frustrated by the officiating. That might end up being a bit controversial, but they just didn't handle control of the game, and that's very disappointing.
These guys have worked too hard to be treated by those kind of officials. I'm not saying to the players, Donnie shouldn't have got sent off.
Matt and BJ, the managers, came up and said, you know, the boys were at the lowest morale that they've seen this group of players. And my reaction was, isn't that great? They sort of looked at me. I'm like, isn't that great? It means that it means something to them. And so I think when they go home and they take the time to reflect, they will only talk positively about the entire experience. Because it means something to them, it will further them. It will urge them on to talk positively about the trip, positive about Australian football, and that will help the next generation of players come through.
Well, I'm as disappointed as the rest of you because I didn't come here for this kind of result.
The last 3 goals are my fault, boys. I got sent off in the last pitch, 1 short. They are my fault.
You know, I was struck probably 4, 5, 6 times throughout the course of the first, second, and third quarter. And yeah, I'd had enough. I mean, you know, we're out there to play football and not fight. And if they wanted us to be out there to fight, they wouldn't be calling it footy.
Yeah, I've got one in the throat, one nuts. He's got Patty on the side of the head. He's got a couple other guys on the side of the back.
Resiliency only goes so far. And, you know, I guess I could have just played it out, but I'd watched my players all game long be struck. And so, yeah, hopefully I at least allowed them to, you know, feel a little bit of security knowing that we do care and we were looking out for them, or at least I was looking out for them.
All right, very disappointing. Can't take that one back. We've just got to get ourselves right to play our last game. All right, whoever it is.
You know, it is what it is, and once again, you lose and you move on.
Yeah. So we're missing 5. All reflections to be back before we go out tonight. Okay? I'm probably very disappointed. And I think the baton got dropped after South Africa. Right, it was like the whole tournament's over. Right? The whole tournament's over. We've lost to South Africa. So we come up against Nauru, and we play a pretty good first half, and we have issues in the second half, and we're not running. And when you look at the tape, we see the last quarter we weren't running. We were still in a good spot at 3/4 time, weren't we? Right? I know what it does to me when I hit the piss, okay? I know what it does to me now, right? The legs are just not there. Right? Now we play Japan tomorrow. We're not naming the team till the morning. Right? We're going to name the team in the morning. Let's finish this on a really strong note. All right? We'll talk about what we're going to do.
So we didn't have a discussion about that at all. Like, that was just, look, we're doing this, and we're not telling you what we're doing. We're just closing the door and we're having a chat. And I went, all right, yeah, go ahead and do it. And then I thought later on, I'm thinking, hang on, I probably need to know what you're planning to talk about.
Did you anything?
I've seen things like that go wrong, badly wrong.
Post South Africa, I will take full responsibility for that. I let my guard down. And I let my guard down and allowed you to let your guard down. And I'll answer for that. So, doesn't let us off the hook for tonight. Doesn't necessarily let us off the hook for Nauru, but I'll take responsibility for that.
I'm the captain, and SARS is a leadership person. If I had to choose a vice captain, I probably would have picked him. I've got a bit of history with SARS. He's been around for a few years, and you know, I trust his judgment. And you know, if he feels that he has something to say, then by all means, I feel that he's got the right to say it. And so obviously, he wanted to get something dealt with.
All right, it's not my prerogative to get up here and yell. This team decided as a unit that we would police ourselves. So it's thoroughly embarrassing that the result of the match committee's meeting just now was that they decided, I mean, the lineup's ready, but they decided not to announce it until tomorrow because they couldn't trust us to stay off the piss tonight. So I'm not going to get up here and sit and scream at people, even though I think we could use a good section like that. It's just really disappointing that we decided as a group to police ourselves. And
to be honest with you, I personally have a problem with the accountability of losing the game in Nauru being passed to a few beers 2 nights before the game. I mean,
I'm not associating losses with any action on or off the field.
They did though.
They did.
They definitely associated, and that's ridiculous.
Why even give them an excuse?
I don't understand how it got that bad. I mean, I didn't see anything that made me. I mean, it sounds like from what you're saying that it's embarrassing because we aren't acting like adults. I mean,
I hear stuff and
I know I was out till what it felt like 3 a.m. and I got home and it was 11 by the time I was in bed. So,
right. Now,
and I think a lot
maybe
of
I'm wrong, and that's a fair point. Maybe I'm wrong, and everyone in here can say, yeah, I didn't drink enough to be dehydrated and not recover properly and do all the things we committed to in that meeting, and I got in by curfew. So maybe I'm the fool up here in front, but I'd be pretty surprised.
To be honest with you, I don't feel like we've been given I don't feel like the coaches have been accountable for their actions as well. I mean, putting what I know what many other people consider to be the best side on the field to give us the best opportunity to win.
That's a subjective matter,
but there's been no acknowledgement of that. There's just been, oh well, you guys also got on the piss and you guys didn't have any run in your legs in the fourth quarter.
I mean, the fact is, yesterday when we got beat by Nauru, we had like 4 what I consider to be studs on the bench.
For whatever reason, people just like to be heard. So I guess I took the opportunity to give people that chance, the chance to just be heard, to get their grievances out in the open, say what they had to say so we didn't have to say it behind each other's backs.
So we're accountable to each other. If we allow this to break down now, why bother? Why bother tomorrow? Right? Let's finish it out. Finish it out.
Yeah, I mean, I have plenty of suggestions to make, but I'm still real positive. I mean, I hope that all these, I hope that everybody tries to come back. We have a lot of guys that are young, that are good.
I think that cleared the air before the Japan game and set us kind of back on the right track for the last couple days of the trip.
This is the first time we've ever gotten to talk with each other, amongst ourselves. And, the biggest thing that I felt coming in was I don't know any of these guys. I didn't feel like a part of the team. I was kind of the odd man out. And it's just things like this that I think we missed out on. We missed out on becoming a team. We never really had that chance. So now we do, and we got one more game. So.
And that's a great thing. That's something to build on. It is. It's something to build on. And unfortunately, the way our program is set up, it usually doesn't happen until halfway or at the end of the trip. The more time we get together, whether it's playing or just being together, the better off we'll be, year in and year out.
I think always the best part of the trips are watching the guys come together. Every time we've been here, you're strangers. We walk in the door as 30 or 35 strangers.
Like Shaq says, it's not how you start a date, but how you finish it that counts. All right.
And we leave, and it's a group of friends. Probably not everybody, but you end up with, I think, lifelong friends, and that's a great feeling when you see that.
Last game, last 4 quarters that we're here together. Last time this group will ever be together is today. So let's show the respect for each other and who we represent and get out there and bloody go hard at it from the first bounce and come off the ground absolutely rooted because of the effort you're going to put in for each other today. Don't come off the ground any time in this match unless you are rooted. And that's because you're going to be running and you're going to be banging blokes over and you're going to be steadying and you're going to be talking loudly and aggressively the things we've talked about the whole carnival. This is it. This is it. Right? So don't leave anything on the table. Don't leave anything on the table. Make sure this team goes out on a high note. Best effort is all I ask. Best effort, all Matty asks. Best effort for each other.
The final game against Japan, I think, it was a great opportunity for guys to get some confidence back.
Take care of this so we go home on a win. Rebels, 1, 2, 3, Rebels!
You wouldn't want to leave Australia losing 3 games in a row. And I was still a little worried about it. Their skills were good. You know, there were some passages of play that the Japanese put together that was very good football, you know, from a sort of traditional and classic football sense. They just couldn't match us physically. It was good to see the guys bounce back and have a good win, because they're going to go back and they're going to talk to their clubs, and you want them to go back and say how great it is. You want them to go back and say, man, this is the best game in the world, and you've got an opportunity to play the most exciting and best game in the world. The game's going to continue to grow. It's got to grow from guys who are playing in Nashville, playing in Chicago, playing in Denver, playing in Seattle. You know, spread the footy gospel and maybe inspire somebody else to play in the next tournament.
Keep your eye on the red, white, and blue. Hey!
The bottom line is you're playing football in Australia and you're representing your country, and that's something special.
Hey, Mom. The game against Japan really went well. I thought we rebounded well. I thought the young guys played for the veterans. The veterans played like it was their last game. And, you know, if you fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. And I think that's what we did. We fell on our back, we looked up, and we got up. The most difficult thing for me about this trip has been not winning it, or not making the finals, coming in 7th. And I look back to when Rob Oliver came to my school and he said, you know, Jay's gonna be an important player and he's gonna be important to the success of this team. And I took that to heart. And even though I'm not a veteran, I'm just a rookie player on this team, he said that, and we're 7th, and that kind of hurts, you know. And that's not on him. That's not on, you know. That's on us as a team. It's great to be optimistic, but it's going to be really hard for us to really take it to the next level unless we get some sponsorship, which allows a core group of guys to travel, get to some games together in the next few years. You know, these small island countries practice all the time together because they're small island countries. And they know where they're gonna be. Our hand passes were never to the right place. Not never, but most of the time not to the right place because we don't know where we're gonna be. But this trip's been really great. Being able to go to the venues I've been allotted to go to, meeting the different countries, and really just making great friends on this team has been amazing.
Lucy decided to take care of the team.
Take a hard look around. You may never see some of these guys again, but know that they're your brothers through the mud, through the blood, through all of it. Salute.
I made a statement in the beginning just regarding, just kind of generalizing the trip, who we are, and we're here together, and we need to rely on each other. You know, what we have here is all we have for the next 2.5 weeks.
I want you guys to go meet my daughter. Her name's Alexis, and she's 2.5, and she doesn't think I'm coming home.
You know, granted, you have your family and your friends and phone calls and emails, but basically we have to depend on each other for the next 2 weeks. And a lot of the new guys kind of scratch their heads and don't really get that. You know, obviously the guys that have been here before kind of get it. And some of the younger guys that approached me last night and said, I get it now. You know, I kind of get what you mean.
It didn't mean anything. Hold on, gentlemen! But it totally means everything to me right now. This is it. You know? So I just want to
How perfect is this? Love you, too.
You can see it in their eyes, and you can see it in their expression and their body language. It's pretty cool because when they say they get it and they're excited about it, I mean, we had a tough trip, and they're looking at you and they're saying, hey, this is something good, and I want to continue to be a part of this, whether I'm a player or something else, or I want to go back to my club and tell everybody that this is something exciting. And we copped it on the chin, for 2.5 weeks, and yet these guys are still excited to go back and try and build on that, make something happen positive to make this Revolution team, positive. So make it something special.
I just want to let you guys know, from the coaching staff to the players to your families and friends and everybody else that supported you to get here, I appreciate it. I know everything you go through to get here, and it means a lot to me.
We finished low in the poll, and but yet you see the positive impact that you've had on the guys. So I haven't quite put everything in perspective of where I'm going to head, and what I'm going to do. So. Whether it's playing or coaching or nothing at all. So just have to see how it goes.
The end of the season party last night, it was a good time. The beer was flowing. We all get along, which has been awesome. You come here, didn't know any of these guys, met them a couple times in the other training camps. But getting to spend time with them and getting to get to know them, and then last night getting to drink with them, and it was a good way to end the 2 weeks. Today is my last full day in Melbourne. Is everything okay? Tomorrow I leave to go back to Minnesota. I am very excited to get home, see my kids, see my wife. So this is why you think you need snaps? Be good to get back to normal, but it's been fun being an athlete. You train, you play games, you train, you play games, and you sign autographs for little kids, and it's a lot of fun.
I'm tired. You put a lot into it. I don't know any coaches that are involved with any team that don't go play by play, that don't experience every fumble or every beautiful kick, or someone soaring in your team to take a great mark, or a good spoil happens. You've actually, your body and your mind are playing every action in the game. And I guess the assistant coaches are doing that too. But while that's all happening, you're also thinking, how do I improve my chance of a score? How do I stop a score? How do I make this team perform better? So yeah, it was pretty tiring. It's a big investment of time, isn't it? Very lucky to have my family support me in all those kind of football endeavours that I've been involved in over a long time. The support's really important because you can't do it unless you get someone fully behind you. And when your family's behind you, it is really great. Hannah and Locke are both working at the moment, so the only way I could get them sort of to be actually physically present was the Palladium function, and Han took a heap of photos. And I can remember as a kid sitting with my brother, my father and my mother. My grandmother was a Hawthorn supporter, my mum's mum was a Hawthorn supporter, and she was trying to infiltrate into the family to get the two grandsons to barrack for Hawthorn. And there was some talk of it around the kitchen table. And I remember Mum saying at one stage, we had a very small kitchen, we were talking and arguing about it, and she's just gone, right, bang. What's the matter? Everyone in this household barracks for Collingwood. We do not discuss this again. Is everyone clear? Yes, Mum. Passion for the game. It runs deep in the family, passion for the game.
Some of those great bodies come over and match mine, please. It is all fun in loving
see Sheeds there, Barras there. These guys are heavily involved in the AFL over a long time, and to hear them come up to you and say, you know, I watched a little bit of your team against Denmark, they look like they run well. You know, I like some of the things I saw. That's wonderful. It's wonderful for us. You know, it's about it. Look, in the end, football is about mateship. It is about teamwork and it's about us. But in the end, these guys have come away with a very strong feeling of, one, wanting to do better, two, wanting an extended program, and three, being proud that they've represented their country as best as they could given the circumstances. So all these things are happening in our midst. You know, we are going to be brothers forever and a day.